possibilities await us in 2014, so says Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller in her New Year's message. But what possibilities are on the horizon for you? Hello and welcome to this edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Today we share with you from the Institute of Jamaica, IOJ, the place for the encouragement of literature, science and art. Coming up in the program today, we look back at the 2013 achievements of the sport and information portfolios in the Office of the Prime Minister. Plus we find out from Jamaicans what they can do to make a difference in the nation in 2014. This and so much more right after the news. Stay with us.
Jamaica passes 2 tests from the International Monetary Fund (IMF).
Program implementation thus far has been strong.
Omnibus legislation to govern the tax reform process.
By committing to lower rates across the board and incentivizing production.
And a public sector transformation on in earnest following a wage freeze. Some top achievements of the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Public Service. Join us tomorrow, Wednesday, January 8, for the Ministry's Year in Review as we recap the main initiatives that led to almost 1% growth in the Jamaican economy. That's the Finance Ministry's Year in Review, Wednesday, January 8 on this station, inside Jamaica Magazine. Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, January 7. Agriculture Minister Roger Clark is refuting claims of abandonment by some farmers in St. Thomas after a failure in onion crops. The 40 farmers on the Plantain Gardens River Agri Park made the claim after reaping 18,000 pounds of onion from an estimated 600,000 pounds due to a faulty irrigation system. At an emergency press conference Monday, Minister Clark said the farmers were being assisted through a resuscitation plan that would allow them to benefit from the production of other crops. He said $7.5 million was injected into the plan, which is also being supported by the St. Thomas Cooperative Credit Union.
The area that they planted the onions, we decided that we would not go into onion in that area for the succeeding crop. We would put something else in. Like pumpkin and pepper. Right now they have pepper in the ground. They even have Irish potato in the ground, and they are doing some work.
Under the resuscitation plan, markets have also been sourced for the crops.
We met with marketers, Spanish grain and exotic products, and one other, spiritual spices, and they committed to taking, as a part of the recovery program, 25 acres of peppers, West Indian red and Scotch bonnet, and 2 acres of cantaloupe, 10 acres, but 2 acres per period.
Meanwhile, Minister Clark says a new pump has been bought and is to be installed shortly. Farmers are also to benefit from expert assistance and training in relation to onion production. The Department of Correctional Services DCS is close to appointing a pharmacist to work in the correctional system. DCS made the disclosure in response to public concerns about the prolonged vacancy, adding that efforts to correct the situation have been ongoing. The department says for 20 years there has been no such established post, and it was only in August of last year that the Finance Ministry granted permission to employ 3 pharmacists on a sessional basis. As a result, 6 applicants for the post are scheduled to be interviewed this week. In the meantime, medication to inmates is dispensed based on prescriptions written by medical doctors at the correctional facilities. A pharmacy technician and a registered nurse fill the prescriptions, which are then checked off and recorded by inventory clerks under the oversight of the consultant medical officer. Jamaica's Chief Justice Zayla McCalla says greater strides will be taken this year towards the full implementation of criminal case management in the country's courts. Criminal case management is an administrative hearing to resolve issues in a case and to ensure that everything is ready before the matter is set for trial.
Otherwise, as I have noted on many occasions, trials of matters will proceed with seemingly no end in sight, and this situation is to be avoided at all costs.
The Chief Justice was speaking at the swearing-in of 5 judges at King's House Monday. Come March 2014, it will be mandatory for 3 main categories of persons to electronically file their tax returns. This applies to large taxpayers, companies with an annual turnover of $500,000 or more, persons filing a GCT refund return, and employers with 20 or more employees. Director of Communications at Tax Administration Jamaica, TAJ Maris Horton, says the mandatory e-filing system will benefit taxpayers as well as the tax system.
There's a convenience of it, the cost saving in terms of filing online, filing and paying online. They can do so. And in respect of the payment, persons can use a credit card to make their payment. For the larger payments, we actually have a system in place where they can actually pay through direct banking.
The mandatory e-filing was made possible following an amendment to the Revenue Administration Act, which gives the TAJ's Commissioner General the authority to state how and when tax returns are filed. And finally, the Education Minister has offered his support to the students and staff at the Mona Heights Primary who are grieving following the fatal shooting of one of their teachers, Paul Watson. Minister Thwaites, who has condemned the killing, visited the institution on Monday along with a trauma response team. They offered grief counseling and support for teachers and students.
We must infuse into every word we say, every action that we perform in this school and elsewhere, a deep reverence for life, for every life.
The Education Ministry also offered its condolences to friends and family of Mr. Watson. And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.
Stand up and get in the race.
I can become the master of my destiny.
Step up your stride, make we work like a harder. Do it like Veronica, more than a supper.
We can rise above the challenges and shine.
Was with passion in your heart. Make a plan and stop all the idling. You think I saw? We reach out the edging. I can, you can. Like our Olympians, every Jamaican can.
So I'm learning quite a lot today. This room showcases the Jamaica 50 Constructing a Nation exhibition, and indeed the mission continues in 2014. Did you know that last year we were ranked #1 in the Western Hemisphere for press freedom? Plus we made significant strides in sport. Get the facts now in today's Year in Review for the Sport and Information portfolios in the Office of the Prime Minister.
National Sport Policy tabled. Defamation Act passed. $250 million school sport infrastructure improvement project launched. And Jamaica ranked #1 in the Western Hemisphere for press freedom. These were among the major achievements in 2013 for the sport and information portfolios in the Office of the Prime Minister. Increasing the contribution of sport to national development was the main focus of OPM's sport unit in 2013. In March, Minister without portfolio responsible for sport Natalie Nita Headley tabled a white paper of the national sport policy. By April, Minister of Sport Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller reconvened the National Council on Sport. The OPM was steadfast in its efforts to fully maximize the potential of sports in 2013. That's why the sport unit undertook a series of stakeholder meetings to sensitize the sporting community on the impact the October passage of the Charitable Organizations Act would have on the sector.
Those who bring items in for sport have to have an idea how you ship something to Jamaica, because as we know, the Charity Act and the Charitable Harmonization Act is designed or meant to make this process less cumbersome.
Another strategic policy move came when OPM joined the fight against lifestyle diseases by appointing a representative to the National Non-Communicable Diseases Committee.
Physical inactivity is the 4th leading risk factor for global mortality.
To ensure Jamaica's young athletes are equipped to achieve their full potential, the OPM announced a $250 million high school sport infrastructure program in the latter part of 2013.
Under this project, 10 schools will be targeted by the Sports Development Foundation in Phase 1 to the tune of $100 million during financial years 2014 to 2016. The Ministry of Agriculture, through the EU Sugar Transformational Project, has agreed to target yet another 13 schools which fall within the sugar transformation areas in Phase 1 of this initiative in the amount of $150 million.
And in a bid to have Jamaicans competing in more sporting disciplines on the world stage, the sport unit also supported the groundbreaking for a state-of-the-art weapons range.
This facility will fit right into those plans of ensuring that come 2016 or come 2020, we will have another sporting discipline in which Jamaica will not only be participating, but will be excelling in.
A significant preoccupation for OPM's sport division in 2013 was the quest to preserve the integrity of sport on the island. During her budget presentation, Minister Nita Headley announced that $16 million was set aside to improve JADCO's testing program. An additional $7.15 million was received from the Chase Fund to develop nutritional and educational programs, launch a new website, and provide additional doping control testing.
The government of Jamaica is relentless in its commitment to integrity in sport and will do its part for the maintenance of a doping-free and sporting environment, and we stand with our athletes.
We stand by our athletes and value the significant contributions they make towards engendering national pride. However, as a country, we reiterate the importance of integrity in sport, fair play, and the maintenance of a doping-free sporting environment.
Prime Minister Simpson Miller and her minister without portfolio both reaffirmed the nation's support of its athletes in the wake of several athletes testing for banned substances in 2013. Mrs. Simpson Miller used the confirmation of positive drug test results to issue an invite to the World Anti-Doping Agency to visit the island and review Jamaica's anti-doping operations. Following the receipt and review of WADA's report, JADCO implemented several changes. Among them was a review of the Anti-Doping in Sport Act, the formation of a new board of commissioners, as well as the hiring and training of additional staff. A new executive director was earlier appointed.
At the end of the day, our aim is to transform Jamaica into one of the most engaged and most successful sporting nations in the world.
In support of all forms of freedom of expression and its importance to democracy, the Information Division within the OPM pushed for a new Defamation Act.
This bill is a significant plank in our democratic infrastructure.
The amended Defamation Act, which replaces the decades-old libel and slander laws, was passed in the Senate in July and the House of Representatives in November 2013. It abolishes criminal libel, changes the assessment of damages from a jury to a judge, and introduces new remedies that do not require monetary compensation. As testament to the government's open media policy, Jamaica was ranked number 1 in press freedom in the Western Hemisphere last year. The ranking followed a global report on press freedom by Reporters Without Borders.
I'm a strong believer in citizens' participation, and I believe that if we allow our citizens that access to the information, give it to them in a timely manner, it will help them to develop, it will help our country to develop.
The Jamaica Information Service celebrated 50 years of informing, educating, and entertaining the masses in 2013, a feat that was celebrated by the OPM. And with Jamaica's rich tradition of disseminating well-needed information, the government of Botswana sent a team on a benchmarking mission to the island in September. Another information agency, the Broadcasting Commission, expanded its media literacy program with an extensive ad campaign. The Media Blitz focused on the protection of children from harmful content, anti-piracy, and payola. In June, the Jamaica Archives and Records Department, JARD, received $36 million to enhance its operations in preserving the island's cultural heritage.
As a government, we are not only fully committed to strengthening the important work of recording and preserving our history, but we are committed to making this powerful information more accessible to our people anywhere in the world.
The Office of the Prime Minister was on a mission in 2013, a mission to deepen the contribution of sport to national development while making information more accessible in pursuit of more jobs and economic growth.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
A topical subject on the minds of many Jamaicans. What exactly is the Jamaica Logistics Hub initiative?
Logistics is the process by which businesses manage the flow of goods, services, people, information, energy, and other resources through the entire supply chain from source to end users.
The various components of the hub will allow Jamaica to capitalize on the increased trade expected to flow through the region when the Panama Canal expansion is completed in 2016.
We are not saying by that all of the project would have been finished. We are saying that there's a core set of projects and programs that must be implemented.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub, a plan in action to increase trade and grow the economy.
Each year, the Prime Minister's National Youth Awards salute young persons between the ages of 15 and 24 who have distinguished themselves in various sectors. One such previous awardee is now Jamaica's current Rhodes Scholar, Timar Jackson. Nominations for those who excelled in 2013 close next week, January 15. So, you still have some time left to send in your suggestions. Need a reason? Well, take a look at last year's awards ceremony.
Youth on a Mission, Project 2062. That was the theme for the 15th staging of the Prime Minister's Youth Awards for Excellence.
We are on a mission to celebrate the achievements of our nation's young people.
Those between ages 15 and 24 who have made an outstanding contribution to any of a number of areas, including sports, agriculture, academics, and arts and culture. In 2013, there was a double celebration. Awards were given to persons nominated for both 2011 and 2012. 25 persons received awards for 2011, while 20 individuals got for 2012. For the 2012 nominations, over 70 applications were received and sorted by the Prime Minister's Youth Awards Selection Committee.
We have what I call a very rigorous evaluation process. We look at the quality of your achievement, we look at the impact that you have, we look at your community and voluntary service, we look at your current program and your academic record, we look at your demeanor, we look at how you set yourself as a role model, and importantly, we look at how unique this award is and how it will help to mold other young persons.
You make me stronger. Oh, my God. Been through much. You make me stronger. We're coming out better, not bitter. Yeah. Sing it again.
You're among the significant number of Jamaicans who have been making a valuable contribution at home and abroad. You have imagined a life of achievement, a life of excellence, and have refused to accept mediocrity. You have used your imagination to forge a life of accomplishment and to provide inspiration to other young people and indeed to our nation.
Stay strong, young revolutionaries. Don't you fret. No, no, no.
What you're witnessing here today is the excellence of the next generation that will herald a new time of courage, passion, resilience, and fortitude for Jamaica to remain the best cultural capital and country in the world.
And now for the 2012 recipients of the Prime Minister's Youth Awards for Excellence. For entrepreneurship, Andrew Khan.
Naturally, I'm a self-motivated person, but this will push me because now, not only the Prime Minister, but the country itself has seen where I can be a successful person.
For journalism, Basilia Barnaby.
I have been working at journalism for a long time, and I have been working every day to perfect my craft. So it's a wonderful feeling to be awarded this evening.
Also getting an award in the category of journalism, Simon Preston.
I always had a drive and desire, and that really made me push forward, and I'm happy the rewards are paying off.
Recipients in the category of leadership included Kenneth Gordon.
This award will definitely motivate me to continue in leadership. I will use this as encouragement to continue and use it to encourage other young people to do what they are doing.
Randy Goldson.
Continue doing what you're doing. It is not about the award, it is for the people who you are touching. And you see, when you work hard, then the award will come easily.
And Rashid Hall. Chantel Bierce and Romain Virgo were recognized for excellence in arts and culture. Jordan Bennett, O'Neill Clark and Caldon Shirley are shining examples of what it means to be a youth in service.
Just press forward and always pray. It's always good to pray, and just, if you believe in yourself, there's nothing that can stop you.
This will be like a push, a greater push then to further continue all my doings in my community, in the parish.
Definitely it will push me more to continue doing the work I have been doing in my parish and across Jamaica.
Kimani Kitson Walters epitomizes academic excellence.
Because science is such a technical subject, you have to love it. If you don't have the passion for it, it's not going to be as easy coming to the, for most of the scientists out in the world.
Timar Jackson is another academic inspiration.
Once you have your mindset on understanding it, then that is the first step towards success in mathematics. You can't have to try and get rid of that phobia.
Big up the corner shop, big up my lane, big up my block, and then my big up anywhere you can. I will have vibe and release your stress and relax. Yeah.
The Prime Minister's Youth Awards for Excellence also recognizes international achievement. Devon Raymond, Kimroy Bailey and Siobhan White led the charge.
Regardless of where you are coming from, once you have persistence, perseverance and a goal, you can achieve.
In the category of sports, Aaliyah Atkinson, Alvis Powell and Warren Ware were celebrated.
Just going into the World Champs with this award is just a lot of confidence going in and a bigger boost for me.
Jean-Pierre Campbell stood up for young people contributing to agriculture. The Prime Minister's Youth Awards for Excellence, recognizing and celebrating the achievements of the nation's youth. Project 2062, Youth on a Mission to take over the reins of leadership and build a better Jamaica.
There'll be a better tomorrow. 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 There'll be a day. There'll be a way. There'll come a time to sing a brand new song. There'll be a better tomorrow.
2014 is the perfect time to learn more about Jamaica, this beautiful and blessed land of ours. The Institute of Jamaica is an ideal place to come and expand that knowledge. Joining me right now is Public Relations Officer right here at the IOJ, Mishka McCreeve. Hello, Mishka. Welcome. And thank you for taking the time to talk to me about this wonderful display that you have here. I want you to talk a little bit about that and tell us what exactly can Jamaicans find here at the IOJ.
The Jamaica 50 Constructing a Nation exhibition here at the Institute of Jamaica is a snapshot of the celebrations and struggles leading up to our independence in 1962. The exhibition is a collaboration between 3 of 4 divisions: the National Museum Jamaica, the Natural History Museum of Jamaica, and the National Gallery of Jamaica. The exhibition is divided into 3 parts. The first section looks at the Federation movement and the celebrations leading up to independence. The second part looks at our rich biodiversity and explores the fauna and flora that is found right here in beautiful Jamaica. The final section of the exhibition looks at nation building and the involvement of our political movements, as well as the achievements of our visual and performing arts. At our National Museum Jamaica, we currently have a Rastafari exhibition, which is the largest exhibition to deal with the Rastafari culture in Jamaica. We also have a Taino display and the Jamaica 50 Constructing a Nation, of course. We also have the Jamaica Music Museum's Music, One a Song, and the People.
Thank you very much for that bit of information. So there you have it. You can make your bookings just by calling the IOJ and come and learn a little bit more about that piece of Jamaica that's etched in history. It's a very bright and sunny day, a little raindrop here and there, but I'm enjoying this great mural, artwork done by people in this area. Jamaicans are quite a resilient people, and together we can leap, make big leaps over obstacles. Believe me? Well, we headed out a road and asked, what can you do to help Jamaica move forward in 2014?
Well, all me can do to help Jamaica is to pay my bills and my taxes that I'm to pay, that Jamaica will get something off. You understand? That's what I can do.
Probably win the Super Lotto and try to disperse some money to some people who are really in need.
After all work, for a better Jamaica.
I can help the old people them and make the place clean.
Try set myself up as a kind of iconic figure for the youngsters. See if I can implement any change or anything of the sort, if they will listen. Do what is good and hope that the youngsters will try and follow.
Personally, I think that for Jamaica to move forward, we have to enhance our family values. Once we teach our children the right attitudes and values, this will be ricocheted throughout the society and we will go forward as a united nation.
Jamaica passes 2 tests from the International Monetary Fund, IMF.
Program implementation thus far has been strong.
Omnibus legislation to govern the tax reform process.
By committing to lower rates across the board and incentivizing production.
And a public sector transformation on in earnest following a wage freeze. Some top achievements of the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Public Service. Join us tomorrow, Wednesday, January 8th, for the Ministry's Year in Review as we recap the main initiatives that led to almost 1% growth in the Jamaican economy. That's the Finance Ministry's Year in Review, Wednesday, January 8th on this station, inside Jamaica Magazine.
We've come to the end of our program for today. Thank you for having joined us. We'd like to say a big thank you to everyone here at the Institute of Jamaica. But we'd love to hear from you, so send an email, jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. Follow us on Twitter @JISNews. And please visit our website, jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson, and remember, as the Prime Minister expressed, let us all forge a spirit of unity and purpose for 2014.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.